I don't want to live anymore. Yeah, I've said those words before. You know, maybe some of the people who know me the best would agree. You know, I've said those things or type of things, you know, in passing to just try to bring some levity to the situation. The way it's delivered, the way it's spoken, I don't know, but it's always kind of been meant to just, you know, be a sarcastic kind of way to be like, yeah, well, this friggin' sucks. You know, this day really sucks. This week, this month, this year, I don't know. But I've never really said those words and meant it on. Well, my wife and I, we were out for a hike, and we took our friend's dog out. We took our dog Gypsy, and yeah, everything was going great. You know, it was wonderful. It was a beautiful day. Life was seemingly good for the moment. One of my biggest issues I have is not allowing my wife to be on the innards of like what's going on within me, and that's a serious issue because, you know, there were so many things as I look back when we lived in Washington. There were so many things that were going wrong for me in my life. I couldn't get a job. I was applying everywhere, everything. You know, she was working in a casino and she hated it. I hated that, you know, she didn't like her job or whatever. And so there was all these pressures and, you know, just having this mentality of, and I don't know why, it's just always been there, just this fake it to make it. I'll get through it, you know, I'll be fine. And just when I thought I knew depression, for me, there's another level. It gets darker, it gets deeper, it gets angrier. I had never witnessed this side of depression, this anger. And we were walking these dogs, we were having a great time, and somehow Porter got loose, and I was filming stuff, you know, just trying to have fun, be creative, and I saw Porter got loose and I freaked out. I dropped my camera on the ground, you know, thousands of dollars of equipment, just threw it on the ground. It doesn't matter, that's not our dog, you know, we need to take care of that dog. He's loose. And you know, with this tunnel vision, I'm not communicating with my wife that we gotta do this, you know, and then everything leading up to this event that I hadn't communicated with my wife, that I hadn't just talked to her about, or whatever. Maybe I just kind of felt like she kind of knew about it, but she didn't. And then she's trying to pick up this camera, and I'm yelling, we need to get the dog, and I'm getting angry, and I'm getting angrier, and I'm getting angrier, and she just keeps trying to pick this camera up, and I told her to stop so many times, and I just kept yelling, and it escalated, and it escalated, and it escalated, and I just... The moment passed, and I yelled at her enough. Some of the nastiest things I've ever said. I just told her to go, you know, and I picked the camera up after she left, and I was still recording. I recorded everything. I recorded how I sounded. I recorded how I looked. I looked exactly and sounded exactly like a monster. I didn't know who I was looking at or who I was hearing. I deleted it immediately just because it was so appalling to me. It was, this man isn't me. It's horrible. So I slowly made my way back, and we didn't talk the entire ride home in the truck. And when we got back to the house, I just kind of moseyed up to our bedroom, and upstairs and just sat on the edge of the bed, and I just kind of stared at the wall. It's been really hard dealing with a lot of this because my wife's had to help me relive a lot of it, because, you know, I would say something to her and she's like, well, that's not how it happened. Well, in my head it did. And it's kind of amazing how powerful, you know, our mind, our brains are, because we can take a something that happened and make it something totally different. Because, you know, I don't want to remember that guy. I don't want to remember who that person was. I don't ever want my wife to feel afraid of me. But she probably was. And that's on me, you know, because I was too stubborn to not just not, I couldn't even talk to her. I always want to bring good news, but I didn't have any. You know, I didn't have any for months. I didn't have anything. All I had was this darkness inside of me, this blanket on top of me, something holding me down, and I couldn't talk to her about it. In reality, a lot of this could have been probably handled a lot better if I would have just talked to her. One of the first things I did as soon as we got back to the house, and as soon as my wife left me alone, you know, she's asking me questions like, are you okay? Are you this? And I'm fine, but I'm not, you know, and I call my dad and he answers and I start crying. I'm sure that wasn't exactly what my dad was hoping for, but I know that he's there. He said it. He's there, you know. But as awkward as the conversation was, yeah, you know, it was crazy awkward because I didn't know how to say what I was feeling. I didn't know why I was crying. I didn't know why I was so angry. And yeah, it was awkward, but you know, here's the reality of it. That little bit of awkwardness could help you for a lifetime. Because you opened up, because you decided to say, hey, this is how I feel. I'm hurt, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm dark, I don't know exactly what I am. And that's fine, that's totally fine, because a lot of us are in that boat. Almost all of us are in that boat. So you are not alone. Reach out to the ones who love you. You know, I knew my wife loved me before this incident. During and through all of it happening, I thought she wanted a divorce. I thought she was just going to come back to me and say, you are such a terrible individual. You are such a horrible person. I want nothing to do with you. But she loved me during it. And she's loved me after it. My dad loved me before, during, and after. My mom loved me before, during, and after. My best friends have loved me before, during, and after. So many people have loved me before, during, and after. Whatever circumstance I'm going through, whatever circumstance you're going through, whatever crap you're in, you just need to know that there are people who loved you before, during, and after. This darkness surrounds us. You become angry, you become a monster, you become something that you just have never even thought that you could become. Whatever it is, you need to know that love wins. The darkness goes away. You need to talk to somebody. Reach out. What's a little bit of awkward? That's a few minutes. Help you for a lifetime.